Hey Illumineers, it's been a while. I've just returned from vacation and that's why I haven't been able to upload any videos last week. Today we are trying a new type of video. It's the conclusion of all the deck testing we did beforehand. My buddy piloted this deck in 2 league plays, finishing third in the first league and taking the win in the second, for a grand total of 7 wins and 1 loss. Congratulations to him, and here's the final list of the Amber Amethyst Aggro. Alright, so starting off with the Lilo, in combination with the Simba, is probably one of the best starts in Lorcana at the moment. Then having 4 of the Stitches, which can later on be shifted into the Rockstar Stitch. Playing 4 Olafs because of the 1/3 body. It has some more survivability than the 2/2s. Which makes it a good target for Rapunzel if he's still around at that point. Then we have 2 Pascals, rounding off the 1-drops for a total of 14. Pascal being a good evasive minion that can just steal lore each turn, right? For our 2-drops, we play the LeFou, which I'm not sure if that's the correct choice. Might be better to change LeFou out for 3 brooms and then also try to fit in 2 Mickeys. But for now, because it's an aggro deck, the LeFou fits, as it can quest for 2. And you know, it's not a bad card, right? Like if your opponent doesn't have a good 1-drop to play, you start off with the Lilo and then you go into the LeFou. On turn 3, I think you're at 8 lore already, right? So good tempo play, but you have to find the right time to play it, and it also kind of depends on what your opponent does, right? So that's the LeFou. Then we have the Simba, already talked about that. Great for protecting your Lilo. Also can protect your other minions later in the game, and a good target to sing Be Our Guest with. After that, we also play 4 Dr. Faciliers. Big body, just to clear the board and to have something that can rack up damage so that we can use Rapunzel on it later on. That makes a total of 15 2-drops. Going into the 3-drops, you see the 2 Mickeys. Good body, lore for 2, great to keep up the pressure. You know, you can go Lilo into LeFou into Mickey. If they take care of the Lilo, if they take care of the LeFou, then you still have the Mickey. And by that, you should be on like 12 lore. Then we have the Elsa. We're not playing the 8-drop Elsa, which I think we should, if you have the money for it, right? But otherwise, the 3-drop helps with exerting problematic characters, which can then be taken out by Rafiki or Zeus, or any other minion you have available to you, right? Then we have Maleficent, which is just a good card that replaces itself. Is also 3 cost, so it can sing friends on the other side, which is probably what she will do most of the time. And after that, we're rounding off our 3-drops with Rafiki. I think in this deck you have to play 4 of the Rafikis and you have to play 4 of the Zeus, because it's basically your only form of pseudo removal. And I say pseudo because they can't attack active characters, right? For our 4-drops, we have the Rapunzel, great card. Like, man, Rapunzel by itself can win you games. If you are able to heal a character for 3 damage, draw 3 cards, you get a body on board, you save another character of yours, and she lures for 2. It's just massive tempo. That's why we play her. That's also why she's so expensive. And she works well with our big bodies, namely Zeus. And mind you, if you're going against Amber with this deck, and you can choose between Rafiki or Zeus. Play the Zeus, just so that on the backswing, your opponent can't capitalize of that 3 power that Rafiki has, right? By slamming, for instance, in Dr. Falisier into it, getting 3 damage on it, and then playing the Rapunzel, healing for 3, drawing 3 cards, establishing board. It's just crazy. So be mindful of that. That's also why you play the Zeus, because it has such a big body and it is your only form of removal. That makes a total of 8 4-drops, and then going into our single 5-drop, which is a Goofy. He's in here because of lack of a better card. So well, it's not a bad card, right? He's a bodyguard. He can protect your other minions, and he has a big body. He's okay. Would rather see an Elsa in his place, but yeah, you'd have to have those cards, right? Then we have the Rockstar Stitch. One of the reasons why we play such a massive amount of 1 and 2 drops, so we can capitalize on the Rockstar Stitch, be able to not lose card advantage while playing cards to the board. Then we have our one-off Ursula in our 7-drop spot. She gives you this extra turn, then suddenly you have 3 additional lore on your next turn, so you can win on the backswing, and also drawing you a card. I do think that the Elsa is better because the 1 lore can come in clutch, but Elsa can just win the game for you, as she can stop 2 of your opponent's characters, right? So that's why I would prefer playing an Elsa over the Ursula, and then also taking out the Goofy for another Elsa, and probably taking out 1 LeFou to put in a 3rd 3-drop Elsa, and maybe also taking out the White Rabbit's Pocket Watch to make it 4 3-drops and then 2 8-drops, right? But speaking of Pocket Watch, my friend says that it came in clutch, being able to give anything rush, just to have that little bit of extra removal in your back pocket, just helps you to control the board and win the game. I personally haven't tested it, so I don't know. But, you know, he did finish first. And mind you, the decks he played against, they were maxed out, right? They were full meta decks. So rounding off the deck, we still have the 4 Be Our Guests to search for the right card, and the 4 Friends on the other side to refuel our hands. And that's about it. So this was our first deck profile. Hope you all enjoyed that. I know I did, more than I thought I would. And we would like to keep this up by starting a new series called Budget Battle. As you might know, a lot of us, myself included, are having problems with getting product and can't or don't want to spend $500 on a meta deck. But we do want to play in tournaments. So Budget Battle will be focused on, well, budget decks, to see what can work and compete with the meta decks. Then in the Let's Learn series, we will showcase the budget deck at max power to give you guys some insights as to what you can work towards. For the first video, we're still debating which colors to showcase, so if you have a preference, let us know. Anything but amber. I've seen enough of that color for a while now. Alright, thank you guys for watching, and until next time.